नमो वेंकटेशाय नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम। ओम श्री रामचंद्राय नमः। ओम नमः शिवाय नमः। ओम नमो मातृदेवो भव। ओम नमो पितृदेवो भव। ओम नमो आचार्य देवो भव। ओम नमो अतिथि देवो भव। ओम नमो सत्संग देवो भव। ओम नमो सर्वदेवो भव। ओम सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी। विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि भवतु सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। विना वेङ्कटेशं ननाथो ननाथः सदा वेङ्कटेशं स्मरामि स्मरामि। हरे वेङ्कटेश प्रसीद प्रसीद प्रियं वेङ्कटेशं प्रयच्छ प्रयच्छ। अहं दूरदस्ते पदाम्भोजयुग्मं प्रणामेच्छया सत्यसेवां करोमि। सकृत्सेवया नित्यसेवाफलं त्वं प्रयच्छ प्रयच्छ प्रभो वेङ्कटेशम्। अज्ञानिना मया दोषान् अशेषान् विहितान् हरे क्षमस्वत्वं क्षमस्वत्वं शेषशैलशिखाम्। With my humble obeisance to all the gurus and all the devatas and devas, this is a very important topic which we all face in our day-to-day life, and it is an humble attempt by this soul, with the inspiration of the Lord, with the experiences that I have come across in my life, as well as which I have observed in every day-to-day life that is happening around me, with friends, with family members, with relatives, in the office, environment, and in all aspects. This is only an attempt to submit before all the readers and the listeners, including myself. Hari Om. Ego awareness. This is a very, very tricky and mysterious aspect of awareness. While I am asked to write this particular chapter on ego awareness, from the Lord within, I am aware of that little bit of ego at the mind and intellect level by the grace of the God. And it is very clear that this body, mind and intellect of this so-called writer, the Damodar, cannot think or cannot speak or cannot discriminate or cannot even render his words as voice or words in the fixed without that absolute power or the Shakti which is indwelling in all of us, including this physical body, that is the Atman, at the pure awareness. With this awareness, which has been reflected from the pure absolute awareness into the mind by the grace of the God, let us attempt to understand together as writer and the reader, as a speaker and a listener. As long as the body, mind and intellect exist, we all should be aware that the ego exists. We are aware that we have the ego. That's the first step. We must be very clear and we must be very cautious and we must be very vigilant and aware that this ego of the body, mind and intellect exists. That is the first step. The moment this ego is existing, that awareness, if it is not there, then the problem is that the ego, without your conscious mind, will dominate you and will try to put you and me, all of us, in lot of problems, because we are forgetting the very source that this ego is able to exist because of the grace of the God, because of the Diksha, because of the compassion, because of His grace. It has been created and it is existing. This we should never forget. But then, we know that the ego exists, no doubt. And this is really true, because at this moment, with the awareness by the grace of the God, I am the reader or I am the speaker or I am the writer, then I, that small little I, that ego, is existing. This is really very true. We have to accept it. But then how to be aware of this ego? The question is, many times we are not aware. We are drowned into that, so that we forget that this ego, it has taken over this body, mind and intellect, and that this ahankara is the root cause for all the problems in this samsara, or in this world, or in our day-to-day life. Let us explore together. Of course, start with a little bit of conscious micro-ego. Yes, I am this body, I am this mind, I am this intellect, I am known as or I am named as by such and such name. Or you are the body, you are the mind and you are the intellect and you are named with such and such name. I am speaking with a little bit of ego or with a little bit of desire, whatever it is, to speak or to write. In the same way, you as the reader or the listener, also with a little bit of ego or the desire, want to read or to listen. This is the starting point. As I am writing and you are reading, let us imagine that I am stopping writing for a moment or a couple of minutes. And you, the reader, are also stop reading for a couple of minutes. Let us try to close our eyes and let's see what happens in our mind. Maybe many thoughts bring them. Let it come freely. Don't obstruct it. Let us not obstruct it. Let us together witness or observe the thoughts from one corner of the mind and in the other corner the thoughts that come. Let it come out freely, please. For God's sake, let us not get irritated or get angry or frustrated on the thoughts which are coming up, which we don't like them to come up. Or in the same way, when the thoughts which are very enjoyable, very happy, very exciting, very fascinating thoughts, let us not get drowned into that, in that enjoyment. Just let us witness. Let it come and go freely like flow of water or air, without any resistance or obstructions. At this time, we are able to witness or observe our thoughts. Is it not true? Let us question ourselves. Or let us observe. For a moment, am I observing the thoughts? Yes, it is true. If it says it is true, yes, I am observing the thought. Is it not true? The moment we are able to accept that, we are able to observe the thoughts, that means we are not thoughts. I am not the thought, or you are not the thought. Because I am observing. The moment I start observing, how can I become the thought? How can I myself be the thought? No, I cannot be the thought. I am observing the thought. We are not reactions and actions. We are not thoughts, we are not actions, we are not reactions. Because the thought, when it is springing up, we are able to observe. When the action of the thought is coming up and going, we are able to observe. And when there is a reaction, we don't like this particular thought or we enjoy this particular thought with emotion, then we are able to observe. So in all the cases, the thoughts, the actions, the reactions, all these things we are able to observe. Both the speaker and the listener, or the writer or the reader. That means there is some entity which is totally independent of these sense perceptions, the mind and intellect and emotions. At this moment, there is some minute entity which is within all of us, telling or alerting or cautioning that it is being observed by some other entity without getting involved, like traffic signal or like a traffic police. It's very subtle. We should be very, very concentrating, very much concentrating, then only we can observe this. So that little micro thing is our little ego, a very subtle thing. So the ego is accepting that there is something other than this sense perception of the body, mind, intellect, which is totally independent. And all the time it is existing without getting reacted or getting emotion. See the beauty. The ego itself is accepting its own ego. That yes, I, the micro ego, that's a great thing. That's the first and the foremost process of refining or awareness of the ego, or accepting